Well, gang, I think we have another impending disaster ahead of us on this weekend because this coming Sunday is Oscar Sunday. Not just time to leap forward. Yeah, you lose an hour of sleep. You're going to lose a lot more than that when you see this award show because I have some disastrous predictions for you. Now, I've been a movie critic since God knows. 2008 really was started reviewing movies on YouTube. I don't really like doing it so much. I hate the industry at this point, but I feel like I have to chime in. Now, I've told this before that I fell out of love with the Oscars when the 2008 show, 2007's Transformers, didn't win Best Visual Effects. There was no debate. It was clearly better visuals than The Golden Compass. Didn't win anyways because Michael Bay film. What the hell? At that point, I realized that the jig was up, and slowly but surely over the years, the rest of America has come to see this as well. And now this comes from IndieWire. I thought they've got this arranged the wrong direction I want to head here. So I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm going to get kind of chime in on the categories I'm somewhat familiar with. I was going to post a review of one of the Best Picture nominees today, had a problem with a microphone that I bought that turned out to be counterfeit, and I thought, let's scuttle that all together and just chime in as we go. We're starting off with Best Visual Effects, and okay, I see Avatar: The Way of Water having the best visual effects, but there's a caveat here. This 48 frames per second speed bullshit sucks. I think this movie would look better at home on Disney Plus. You could watch it in 4K with the HDR and not have a weird ass frame rate. Now, the 3D was very impressive. The IMAX stuff, it was impressive. I just felt like I was always being taken on the movie because I felt like I was watching something akin to a soap opera or a video game cutscene at times. The spoiler they got listed here, Top Gun Maverick. My issue with Top Gun Maverick winning this is actually flying the planes, actually having the actors in the cockpit is not really considered a visual effect. So for that, you might want to really consider that more of a cinematography feat or directing. But there is actually a lot more half-ass CGI in that film than I think people are willing to admit. There's a lot of times where the planes don't look great. There's the anti-aircraft guns or battery are coming up to shoot them like explosions. Things don't look as authentic as the Tom Cruise experience. So they also have sound effects or sound. I'm not sure how they delineate these categories at this point. They've got that going to Top Gun Maverick, All Quiet on the Western Front. Listed as their spoiler. Maybe. It's kind of slim pickings there. I think Top Gun Maverick could edge this, but there is a video online. I'll put the link somewhere in the pinned comment. A guy took one of the last battles in Top Gun Maverick and swapped out the sound effects used in the film for actual real sound effects, realistic sound effects. And I can see why the filmmakers went the other route. Because if you think about this, now it's not just as simple as swap out the guns. The F-14 is from like the 70s. What do you think computerized 70s sounded like? In reality, the F-14's HUD, all that communication going on to the pilot, it sounds like you're playing Space Invaders. It sounds like classic old school 70s arcade. And I can see why you would take that out of the movie, because if all of a sudden it's not bleep, 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 if you start hearing shit like that, the audience would inadvertently laugh and it would have been unintended. So give Top Gun Maverick some extra credit there for not being authentic, in all honesty. Song, no idea. I'm kind of thinking it could go to Top Gun Maverick because Lady Gaga had this cringe rip off of Berlin, Take My Breath Away. However, One Republic had a song on the soundtrack, and if it was original for the film, it was actually better. I forgot the name of it. I'm sure you can figure it out, but let's go a little further. Original score. All Quiet on the Western Front score sucked and completely took me out of the film. You have got to be shitting me. You're watching a World War I film. It's dirty. There's mud everywhere. It's also quite inauthentic because it's a German movie, remake of a novel, okay? But the Germans actually took pretty good care of their trenches. They were lined with wood so you wouldn't get trench foot, you wouldn't have all this mud you're walking through. As depicted in the film, it's like they had American trenches, because that makes you more sympathetic to the German protagonists. So that was one thing that bothered me with the movie. The French are also played up as a cartoon villain, which I thought was funny, but I could take it or leave it. There was also way too much cutting between, oh, we eat scraps and look how good they eat on the train car where they're negotiating what to do with our lives. Okay, I got it. But the movies got this score. It sounded like Daft Punk. Like we're watching what's supposed to be 100 years ago, and instead it's like all of a sudden you hear like Daft Punk synth chimes come in. And I'm like, no, this is not the way, as the Mandalorian would say. Not Wizard. Best production design. I wasn't Babylon like ridiculed. That's actually up for an Oscar. I have not seen Elvis. I had an opportunity, passed it up. It looked a bit long. I don't need to see somebody. Look, I am not enthused with this kick we are on of every musician of days past has to have a biopic because Bohemian Rhapsody. Oh yeah, the guy who didn't sing in Bohemian Rhapsody got an Oscar for playing. Forgot his name just now, which I'm not editing this. The point I'm getting at, we then have to have an Elton John film, but the guy sings, but he doesn't sing as well as Elton John. So how do you judge this? Do you say, okay, so we have a guy who didn't really perform, we're going to give him the Oscar. We have a guy who didn't perform as good as we hoped. He's not going to get a nomination. I don't think he did. I haven't really been paying attention to these awards. In fact, this is one of the few recent years where I've seen more of these nominees than typical, and that's in about 10 years, really. So that's why I wanted to chime in. As such, I don't know if this guy, Austin Butler, actually sang. If he sang, let's give him due credit for trying. I'm sure he didn't sound like Elvis. If he didn't do the songs, then why the hell is he nominated? That's what I got to say about it. But regardless, Baz Luhrmann, always good production. Probably Baz Luhrmann would take that. I would think Elvis would win that. Best makeup, whatever. Maybe Elvis, sure. The Whale, I don't see it. You got, from my understanding of it, it's about a guy who weighs 600 pounds. So you have essentially one guy in makeup. And Brendan Fraser didn't look like he had to do that much for this role. He was already heavy. This isn't the Clumps, okay? So give me a break on that. I would say probably give that hair, makeup, Elvis. Okay, best live action short, don't know anything about it. International feature film, All Quiet on the Western Front probably wins that. I did watch it in the English dub, which I thought was okay. Again, it wasn't the dub that took me out of the film. Modern dubs are actually typically pretty good. It had a kid get on my ass yesterday and playing Overwatch because I was talking about One Punch Man. I watched it with the dub. He's like, you didn't read the subtitles while watching the anime? And I'm like, I don't know Japanese. God damn it. So yeah, I see All Quiet on the Western Front winning that. Best editing would probably go to Everything Everywhere All at Once. I hate the title of that damn movie. Hey, do you like anything? Let's make a movie about everything. That way everybody likes it. God damn it. It had the most outlandish editing, and it caught... The problem with the editing, when the editing is amazing, you don't even notice it. When it is obtuse, obnoxious, when it calls attention to itself, that's when it gets the awards. Unfortunate. Okay. Best documentary, don't know anything about it, which is weird because I've seen a ass load of documentaries in my day. I'm so burned out on docs and being manipulated that I don't seem to see a lot of that. Documentary feature, documentary short, best costumes. Elvis, could happen. Wakanda Forever, unlikely. Sequel, in the long MCU connected franchise. Unlikely to pull that off, really. Best cinematography, All Quiet on the Western Front. I don't think so. Best cinematography is Top Gun Maverick. And I don't, from what I've seen, it's not even debatable. That movie, I have some issues with it. I guess I may as well air them here. As I think about it, Top Gun Maverick seems, I have too many issues with it to really love it a whole lot. I feel like the beginning, it is a ripoff of Top Gun. Now, if any movie is going to rip off the intro to Top Gun, maybe it should be the Top Gun sequel. Maybe. But Top Gun, they got the plane saying no, 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 and then dun dun dun, you know, as they take off. But then they're doing exercises somewhere in the Indian Ocean, undisclosed. Top Gun Maverick, we do the same shit. Cut to Lieutenant, or was he now Captain or Colonel Pete Mitchell? He's heading off on his bike to go do a test flight, unconnected to the action from the opening. So what was that about? I also think that we tried way too hard to say that Rooster was Goose's son. Oh, look, he's got the mustache. Hey, he's got sunglasses. Hey, he plays the same piano song at the bar. Okay, we got it. Like, it tried a little too hard with the member berries and trying to draw those connections. Handmade short, don't know anything about it. Best animated feature, I've heard good things about Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. Is Puss in Boots: The Last Wish not nominated? Or did it come out too late? When did it come out? I think it probably came out this year, you know? But sometimes you had those films in January that would, and I think Traffic was the first one to pull this, where it's like, hey, let's release in January and still get nominated for the awards of the previous year in this next one. I hate the way this is all split up. Everybody seems to really like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I have not seen it, but I would think that it could possibly win if it were nominated or eligible or whatever. Adapted screenplay. I really don't know too much about the original screenplay. Really, The Banshees of Inisherin. A film that is at best a short stretched out over the course of about 2 hours. Wow. I think they have to find some way to justify it winning something. If that's the route they're going to go, so be it, whatever. Best Supporting Actress. Probably going to go to Angela Bassett if I had to take a guess. We have to work in... this is where we're starting to really check those boxes, guys, and this is your best route towards... we get a black woman to win, and this is a gal that we've liked for a long time, and this is her chance. This is our opportunity to appease Disney, give the MCU their category win in acting. So there we go. Carrie Condon was perfectly fine in The Banshees of Inisherin for what it's worth. Performance-wise, I don't think there was bad performances in the movie. It just wasn't beyond noteworthy. It wasn't really something you could really heap praise at, I don't think, here. Best Supporting Actor. I'm going to butcher his name. I'm sorry. Ki-Wan Quant. Data. Short Round. He was the best thing in a abysmal movie. If we're being completely transparent. Why do they have Barry? I don't even know how to pronounce that name. He's hardly in The Banshees of Inisherin. Okay, so he does a little bit of the Simple Jack thing. So what? But Short Round... I think this was a guy that we really liked as a kid, and we wish we saw him more often as he grew up and that he had more opportunities. The movie sucks ass, okay? And we're going to get to that. But he seems to be giving his all. He seems to be a varied character. I kind of understand what he's going through. Even as we jump in and about, he's playing the role of Mr. Exposition, but he does it fine enough, and he's the most fun element for Everything All at Once, whatever the hell. Best Actress. Oh my god damn it. This is going to suck. Okay, the spoiler, Cate Blanchett. She's already won. She's white. That's not going to happen. Michelle Yeoh. This will be a travesty when, if, and as this most likely will happen. Michelle Yeoh is absolutely terrible in absolutely everything all at once sucks ass. That movie is, as I see it, no different than you take all of your action figures to your friend's house and you play action figures and you start making up the rules as you go. Well, Leonard from the Ninja Turtles has an alliance with Cobra Commander, but Storm Shadow came in and now here's He-Man and Skeletor and they have the portal key. Oh, there's a portal there and there's a key to it, but they have the key. You guys don't have the key, but we have a fabricating device over here at who am I not touching on? G.I. Joe headquarters. That is this movie. It is random bullshit tricking audiences into thinking it's deep because lesbian daughter. Michelle Yeoh doesn't have a performance in this. She reacts to stuff. She does a little bit of the kung fu thing. It's not impressive. It's not as impressive as it was. Look, I've known about her since Super Cop. And I don't feel like she's evolved as an actress. She has ever since Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon been the mystic woman. She's always right. She's infallible. She has all the answers. She can kick all the ass without trying. Although there's diminishing returns on that, it gets less exciting as you see it. It's not as spirited as Jackie Chan stuff where you always see something new. But Michelle Yeoh is going to win because look up who is in charge of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, wherever they're calling it. I think they changed the name at some point. Janet Yang. Yeah, we've got an Asian in there. And the way a lot of this stuff works is, okay, so now that I'm in charge, my people are going to win. We're going to bring representation. We're going to make history. Make history for all the right reasons. We're going to get headlines for making history by forcing in my people. It's due that we have some Asian representation. We need an actress of Asian descent. I think I was going to say Mandalorian, whatever. She's not actually from China, but Best Actor, Austin Butler, not happening. It's almost certainly Brendan Fraser. Everybody's going to say Fraser, but it's actually Fraser. He's the only one really getting buzz. The only thing Austin Butler has as buzz goes is he has stuck to the accent of Elvis for so long he's lost his own speaking cadence or something. Like, that's it. Best Director, it's not going to Steven Spielberg because he's won before. It's going to go to these Daniels guys because we're making history. This is the night where we anoint the Asians, right? That's what we're doing here. Let's see what we got left. Is this the best? Okay, Best Picture. There it is. Unfortunately, it's going to be Everything Everywhere All at Once. This movie is so damn stupid. And it's not, oh, well, you weren't paying attention. No, it looks cheap as shit. It looks like a sweetened version of The Matrix. And you're going to realize this. It's going to take you 20 years to figure this shit out. And we're going to say that this is the first kung fu film, the first martial arts film to win Best Picture. Making history. Look at all of the vastly far superior kung fu films that didn't get nominated. Well, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is 50 times better than this crap. It has actual performances, characters. You don't have characters in Everything Everywhere All at Once. They swap around so much that you lose every connection to it. You go off on some tangent with some asshole chef that you don't need to care about at all because he has a raccoon orchestrating him. Oh, well, it's supposed to... Hey, remember Ratatouille? This is our way to work in Ratatouille. Member berries without copyright. Like, oh, hey, if it's a pun play on it, we can do that. The film makes no sense. And I'm saying that the universe in which the film takes place is an issue. You go to a universe where everybody has sausage fingers because 2001: A Space Odyssey intro with the apes. Yeah, we got to do that bit because there's some member berries. We can just call upon other films. Hey, remember that movie? When you remind me of another movie, I'd rather watch that other movie. That's what I'd rather do because I have some sense. Unfortunately, the idiot voters, also those, it doesn't matter if they're stupid or not, they know what the line is. They know they have to make this Asian night. But the American public is so easily duped by this garbage also. That's why you have like hip hop sampling and you're called an artist. If you're an artist, you create shit. You don't go around exploiting and stealing. That makes you a thief. This film, you have the sausage fingers, right? Okay, so the whole world should be designed around if the people, hell, if we had sausage fingers, could we really be the dominant species? Probably not. But you sure as shit wouldn't invent a regular piano you play with your feet in a typical position where it is set even with you for you to work with your fingers, your sausage fingers. We are supposed to play your feet. It would be down low on the ground. The oversight here, and it's continuous throughout the movie. I put all this stuff in a bagel. How? All the dimensions, but you put it in a bagel. The dumb people eating up this shit just go, oh yeah, that sounds funny. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just nonsense. It's playing with action figures. Of what I've seen, I said it has a few issues, but Top Gun Maverick, I don't see why that can't win Best Picture. Long-awaited sequel. It really, and also with the postponement from the thing which we cannot talk about because all of the decisions made by our leaders were correct. I think that it increased the anticipation for it. And actually, if it was up for me, I think Tom Cruise probably should have got Best Actor. He had a lot to do in that film. He actually had things to do other than sit in a makeup chair and have a little bit of prosthetic put on him. He gave a performance. His Pete Mitchell is a character. I don't even remember what the hell Michelle Yeoh's character's name was. Evelyn, what was her last name? I don't give a shit. Yeah, so those are my predictions. And yeah, this article courtesy of IndieWire on MSN, whatever, blah, blah, whatever the hell. That is the disaster that awaits us, guys. What do you think? How much does the Oscars suck? Is there going to be a signature moment outside of this? I don't think Janet Yang is going to allow anything to interrupt Asian night. This is the night where her people take prominence and, it's so good to be represented, blah, blah. We're not going to allow a Will Smith slapping of Chris Rock type moment. That isn't going to be in the cards. What do you think? What are your predictions? Let me know in the comments below.